Hi, beautiful. So this week, again, is all about the experience of separation from our loved ones and how not to suffer within that. It's a double whammy for that message. And so if anybody is struggling with that, please go over to Vimeo, check out the masculine feminine spread for this week, because once again, it's all about how not to suffer within the illusion of separation, I'm going to say. All right then, loads and loads of love. See you soon.
Hi everybody, welcome to your weekly unconditional love message, Rumi message, me message, whatever comes. This week, I would like to share with you the outcome card from the masculine feminine over on Vimeo, which is the judgment card. And what came out for this is the understanding that we are always called to more, that there is always more, that we shouldn't be in this or on this journey of life trying to achieve something, or even watching YouTube tarot videos to achieve something, other than increasing our awareness. Say, even we don't become some perfect individual whereby we're kind of, it's like there's this idea that we have to become clean enough or pure enough or kind of godlike enough. When we get to that point of purity, then we'll have the love that we desire, or then we'll experience the love that we desire. And really, I think that idea is born from the fact that we do know that there's always more. So we're like, oh, I'm not quite there yet. There's this idea that we're not quite there yet. There's always somewhere else to get to, and you're not there yet. And really, what it is that we are whole. We are there, but yet there is another place beyond the home that we are in. And allowing desire to fuel our expansion into that place, but not needing to achieve that desire to know the wholeness of where we are. And that really is the key to living a life that is free. A life within which we know we can't lose. All right, then let's get these gorgeous Rumi cards out and see what the Rumi message, and I feel like it's going to be powerful. It's always powerful, but I feel like it's going to be kind of powerful this week. This interesting, beautiful light. So let's just... Ooh. A little sound track there. Oh, I feel like, is it this one? I think it's this one. No, it's this one. This one calling. Oh, that was the one that I saw. Oh, interesting. Number 12, Divine Discontent. Off we go. I shall be reading, as usual, from the Alana Fairchild Rumi Oracle Guidebook, which comes with these beautiful Rumi cards, which are just my favourite cards, and they still have more to say. If I wanted to change, I felt that was a good idea, I would, but these cards still have more to say and to give. And this one is number 12. So take this time to just be, and let this be time for you just to be and watch that light playing with these beautiful colours. Number 12, Divine Discontent. And the Rumi poem for this card is: winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. I know your heart. I hear it breaking and groaning in darkest night when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as yet. There is a piece of the puzzle missing. Is this the one that we got last week? I think it is. I just want to stop there just to break, because I think, again, this is another card about this illusion of separation, which is also in the masculine feminine spread that I just recorded over on Vimeo. Go and check it out, because there is a backed up message again about separation. So I'm going to read this again, but because it's coming up a lot, it's a very, very important message. I just wanted to highlight that. So maybe we need to listen to this or feel this or hear this a little bit more intently, or understand this a little bit more. So I'll start again. I know your heart. I hear it breaking and groaning in darkest night when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as yet. There is a piece of the puzzle missing. Even in its tremendous gratitude for all that is, and there is much gratitude and sweet appreciation in that precious heart of yours, there is a murmuring, a questing. It cries out to heaven, vouchsafe me a blessing. I cannot go on. I am broken and in need of your tenderness for healing. I am empty and in need of filling, not with stuff and bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else will satisfy me. Please, please restore me to wholeness. I can bear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and I cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its honesty and longing, for the longing in an irresistible perfume. For the longing is an irresistible perfume to the beloved, attracting the only salve that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-speaking heart, that of divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. There is a sense within you, perhaps quite obvious to your conscious mind, or perhaps only dimly registered as an unnameable underlying sense of anxiety, that something in your life is not quite right. It may be the sense that even amongst so much gratitude, of a yearning yet to be met, a longing yet to be fulfilled and satisfied. This is the pain of the awakening heart. That heart is capable of bliss and ecstatic reverence for the sheer beauty and wonder of creation. Yet as the heart matures, there will be a process of deep, passionate longing that awakens for the divine. It is the impatience for the caress of the great lover, for the presence of the divine to come to you over time. That longing will grow from a mild inner sense of incompleteness, needing to become whole. It will develop into a holy fever, a sacred rage, a stamping of dancing feet, a pounding of fists upon the altar, and a longing so deep and distressing that one may well break into tears at the impossibility of bearing the pain of apparent separation for even a moment longer. Where is my beloved? Cries the awakening heart. I call for my beloved, and yet I am here, still waiting. I can stand this no longer. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does this yearning. So much so that this may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine. Or perhaps you are not quite there yet. Your heart is attached to smaller jobs such as your status, your job, your lover, your body looking a certain way, or being able to live your life in a particular way. These smaller gods are not necessarily an issue, yet you have drawn this oracle, and so it is guidance for you that the divine wants to draw you closer. Sometimes that means we will have the meagre meal wrested from our hand, so we may feast upon something far more delectable and grand. The divine is a fiercely possessive lover. If there is a face of another beloved preventing you from longing for the divine embrace, and if you cannot see that it is the divine beloved within your lover that you are loving, well then something will be done by heaven. So make your relationship sacrosanct. Seek the divine in all things. When you cannot, when the power of lesser gods has you in its grip, acknowledge it, bear witness to it, do not chastise, instead be truthful. Let your heart break and lie prostrate on the floor, hands clutching and head bowed, as though only your sadness and plight could stir the heart of the divine beloved into descent of succor and grace, saving you from a life far too bland for your exquisite Epicurean palate. Just don't misinterpret the pain and think that something really is wrong. If you are surrounded by status and money and cannot understand why you should mourn, it is even more important that you allow yourself to do so. Mourning is to be felt. Understanding is not so relevant. But if you must seek understanding, then know this, dear blazing angel. You are just waking from the deepest slumber, and with your awakening heart you are realizing a truth. A part of you, deeper and wider, vaster and more instinctive, truthful and intelligent than your mind, is lonely for the divine embrace. This is right. This is sensible. This is sanity. It is the pain, the real noble pain of the heart that says, there is something more than this inadequacy, this settling for plastic instead of precious gemstones that must end now. I cannot be fed by pixelated sunsets in animation upon my computer screen. I yearn to be blasted by so much radiance and beauty by the real thing that I become stupefied. I must witness so much divine splendor that all I can utter is some incoherent grunt, my mind dissembled and my heart ignited by the presence of my beloved. I want to become a fumbling, ecstatic wreck in the presence of my beloved. I want to allow this pain, this yearning, this divine discontent to guide me to my holy lover, so my life may never be the same again. And so it shall be. The divine discontent growing within you is the beginning, not the destiny. Its purpose is to lead you into your greatest connection yet with divinity. Do not resist it. Witness it. Do not dismiss it, trying to cover up its smell with rose petals. Let your rank discontent be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what is, what has been prized and treasured, and is now found to be plated, and not the precious gold it once esteemed to be. Don't be scared, for you are my sidekick on this great holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. I have you in my sights, though you may not see me yet. I am holding a loaf of fresh bread, hot from the kitchen of the Creator, hoping to entice you with its wafting scent, tempting you to follow me on towards something of far more substance. If you are still stuck on pine-scented air freshener, imagining it is anything akin to the wild scent of the pine forests for real, then how can I tempt you? Let the stench be the stench, then the fragrance of God can be discerned, and together we can leave what is less behind, once and for all, grabbing, like hungry schoolchildren, for the divine bread, with sweet fresh scent filling the air. If you're still here after that, and listen to that and let that flow through you, I want you, if you haven't yet, if you've been thinking about maybe having a look at these masculine, feminine readings over on Vimeo and you haven't, please go and do so. Because this card's come up twice. And join my community to help you experience things if you feel like you need help. Because this is what I'm building.
I just want to extend that invitation. If you haven't done it before and you've thought about it, but you're here and you're watching and you're listening and you're letting it kind of happen and you feel something, join me in that other place if you haven't been there before, or if you haven't been for a while, if you were watching and you stopped. There's a calling. These cards don't come up twice often. And this is about the separation. It's about the illusion of separation. It's about the pain. It's about the suffering. And this really is what it's about. It's the core of what I'm doing, is to release you from the suffering. Not to release you from the experience, but from the suffering. And it's incredibly easy. Well, it's incredibly simple. It's not always easy, but that's part of the process. To have the light dancing upon us, as is upon this card. So I invite you to join with me in a different place where I do require you to make a commitment, to invest. Not a lot, but I do, because it's important that we all are met and that we take some action towards things that are of value. And I believe the work that I do is of incredible value, as I wouldn't do it. And I have to also admit, I don't believe it's for everyone. But if you believe it's for you, and you would like help with relieving any sense of separation or suffering, separation from anything that you desire, or anything that you feel is yours somehow, I'm here to aid you. Like I said, it's not about not experiencing life as it is or changing life. It's about not suffering within it. And just allowing things to move and grow as they wish. All right then, I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit different this week. Loads and love. See you over on Vimeo if I haven't seen you already. And I shall see you again next week. And keep tuned, because lots of different things are coming up. I'm going to be doing some different things to aid us as well. Loads of love. Take care.